Hi everyone, today is April 23rd. This is 1 day time frame Bitcoin on our Binance setup, the Binance layout. Maybe I should look into 1 hour just to have a quick look what it is doing and then zoom out and then go at a higher time frame. So yesterday there was major drawdown. Right now today it dropped further, but now we see consolidation, at least not dropping again. This is weekend. If you have noticed that these days Bitcoin is not doing much on weekends. Maybe maybe they are, maybe it's because it's highly correlated with the stock market and other asset classes, so it kind of tries to get clue from a larger macro factor. So that has been a trend in recent time, and that's why we are not seeing any major action over weekends. So if that continues, then probably we will have to wait until Sunday evening my time, which is um, UTC 10 o'clock or something, 11 o'clock, yeah, when the market opens, the Nasdaq opens. So let's see if otherwise. So sometime I feel that it's good as well, because then we get some time for other activity, and it's not all the time high action drama. So in a way it's good actually. 7 day in a week probably is too much. I mean, nothing wrong in, but the point is, it's always good to have some relaxing time. So if Bitcoin behaves like this, probably I would prefer it personally. So let it do whatever it wants to do on weekdays, Monday, Friday, and just chill out on weekends. Probably that's something that would be good for everyone. Right, so a 1 hour showing that there is consolidation and a potential upside move. Right, there is potential upside move. So here, what we see here is a resist support S7. So this I'm saying this is a zone. Now, the thing is, supports are there, but big challenge is when BTC or any asset for that reason moves in a very narrow range or limited range, there can be many supports. That's the reality. So, and not just this structure. I'm right now I'm on 12 hours. If you look at, it's a range bound movement. When you have this kind of range bound movement, when you calculate support, the support can be very like close by here and there. So you cannot say this is exactly the dollar number. So that's why I put a box here, because to cover the zone, and this is anyway intraday. But even if I go at a higher time frame on a 1 daily or even weekly, this whole entire consolidation is 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 having a lot of supports. So finding support within this pattern to me is futile. It's not worth, unless you are intraday trader. Simply because technically you will be able to find many supports. It's not that you cannot find supports. Only thing is those supports will be many and close by. So I may say this is your support, but then this is a support, and then there can be this support, and then this support. So the challenge is the supports would be at a very close by proximity, like they're very close by, and we cannot say this is the support which will provide a bounce. And that's why now I'm focusing more on what the bounce and the height of the bounce. I think that's the right way and the right method. Supports are important. Let's say, for an example, I'll zoom out for a moment and say, okay, Now we know that this is the whole entire consolidation pattern. So we can say, what if this structure is broken? Then you need a support, right? Then it makes sense to me. Now this S6 S7 supports have little meaning, okay, with little meaning in my opinion. So the support which we'll see on a weekly time frame on Bitstamp, probably that's something we should be referring from a trend point of view, from a major direction point of view. On a 1 day and anything, yeah, below 1 week, I would say we'll focus more on the bounce and the required level, because what happens each time it bounces, it's not able to break above, and then goes down. So that has been a case, and sometimes it's frustrating because it gives you hope that okay, now it's rising, and then it drops and then disappoints. So supports are important, but supports are not giving us any advantage in my opinion. On BTC daily I would be updating anyway, so you would know what is happening. But as far as trend is concerned, these local supports are no use. So that's why our focus is what is required level, what is needed for it to break above. We'll be focusing on that only, because that's the only thing matters now. So talking about support, let's say this is near S7, it's consolidating. Looking at its nature, it doesn't want to go down, so I don't think it will go down further, but likely to get a bounce from here on. Now that bounce could be tiny, small, who knows. As I said, this is weekend, so it could be range bound like this, right, within this. Very interestingly speaking, it is following technicals. When I look at technicals, sometimes I don't want to give a lot of updates, because those updates are so frequent sometimes that you are not really able to take advantage, or it's not something worthwhile from a trading point of view. Maybe yeah, okay, fine, you will get update what is happening, but not really. Sometimes it's more confusing. So I'm trying to highlight only the key levels. Like for example, when it was climbing up, I said this, it could react here. So added yellow dot, it reacted on that day. It didn't go down much. It didn't go down much, but reacted. And then it went up, and then I gave this orange level, right? S6 was already there anyways, but added this one, knowing after calculating, and then it retraced. Of course, the fundamental factors were there, but technical always work, no matter what, no matter what. So it touched this and retraced, and again came back. So this is like a home, like it got a support, tried to bounce, came back, tried to bounce, came back, right, and tried to now trying to go up again. So that has been a behavior for last few days, right? I'm talking about this local pattern. Now what we'll do is we'll zoom out. Maybe I'll go 3 day. So on local patterns suggest that this orange level has to be broken above, right? Now this is with respect to this local pattern. Now let's look at the whole entire pattern, this one, right? So 1 day lower time frame, this is important. If we go above 1 day, then this pattern is important. Okay, in that case, this wave and this consolidation, if you look at it, the structurally is one and the same. I'll show you. So consider this as a one um, downtrend line, and then this is consolidation, whole entire thing. Okay, if you zoom in this, then you can say this is your downtrend, and then whole entire thing is consolidation. So I always say that you have to decide what time frame you are operating. When I announce the M Club, I'm going to explain that, but I even without that as well, I explain many times that each and every trader must decide. I'm not saying only one time frame you should choose. What I'm saying is you need to have one account saying I'm going to operate this account using one time frame, specific, whether it's weekly, one day, whatever you decide, and another account with another time frame. So this kind of thing I'm going to share more and more. So it's like a package. But anyway, it's not that I haven't talked about it, but it's more like wrapping up and guiding, very close guidance, and one-to-one channel, like private channel, that kind of a thing. So so everybody has to decide what level you are operating, right? So this is a downtrend, a consolidation. Now what in this part of this consolidation is happening on the lower part, not somewhere here. So if I hide the drawings, you would see that this consolidation is happening here. What you want is consolidation should be happening somewhere here, which is around 45,000 plus. So you can say what you can expect here is, can I get at least above 43k from where it got rejected? So that's your least expectation for BTC to move on the upside. Makes sense? Totally. Because if it breaks above 43k, it would sit here, and that will be a stronger position compared to sitting here, right? Because when you have this line here, right, we have a line here, red line, you see, if it concentrate on this one, it is going to put more pressure. There is still some distance, but what if it goes down? Then the potentially, so this is 37k, we know that, and we have been tracking. So right now 37k has a higher probability for this reason. But if it breaks above 43,000 plus, right, above this orange line, then we are not talking about 37,000. Now even 37,000 is not going to cause any major damage, but it's like it doesn't make sense to me if it has to, so that we can say that 37k is my last chance or my last level. Again, when I say 37,000, it could be 36 also, 36 to 37,000 range. As I said, the supports are very close by, to be honest. If they are so I when I say 37k, consider that as a zone, not as an exact dollar number, and I'll be updating, so that's not a problem, because some calculation has to be done real time, so for accuracy. So when I talk about 37k, I'm talking about approximately this region or this level, that is this red line and S8, 36k, 37k range. So if it drops, we can expect one bounce, a quick bounce from here on, because here there is a lot of stakes. Let me tell you, a lot of millionaires and billionaires, whosoever, and big entities would be really defending this level, in my opinion. If you ask, the good thing is, at least this moment in time, I don't see any major disagreement. When I was talking about potential downside move from top, people were not in agreement. Like they were more like bullish, and they were not even ready to listen, kind of. But now I see the tone has changed. They are now realizing that this thing is not working alone. And now I see more and more people understand the correlationship with larger market, especially Nasdaq and other factors that is inflationary in nature. And I think it's about education, and people, when education is spread, then people understand. Because anyone who just joined crypto, like especially the young group, those do not have understanding of finance, they don't have understanding of global factors, economical factors, and they are told that crypto is the way to go and all that. It's a money making machine and all, and why not? Because if crypto has done so much, so it makes sense for them to think, but they would not be aware of all these factors. But I see a lot of people are now talking about it, so which is good news, and I like it because it's required. But still there are crazy people who would just talking about pump pump pump, and totally talking about unrealistic thing, by the dip, by the dip, by the dip, blindly. So probably they are not aware what is happening, but there is a change, there is change, and people are now started understanding, which is very positive, because in this field I believe that the understanding is not enough. There are a lot of immature people. I don't blame them. They are someone who just started investing because somebody said it's very profitable, and it is profitable. So that's the thing. Now they're realizing that it's not easy, and Bitcoin has to do much more. And more importantly, Bitcoin is not acting alone. They realize it, or at least I'm seeing them talking about it. So that's a positive thing, because maturity is important, and understanding and education is important. Okay, so my take is this. So we cannot take long-term position, in my opinion, not financial advice but technically speaking, unless we see price above orange. That's the bottom line. Okay, we can talk about patterns, we can talk about anything. I can wrap up the call in a minute by saying this, but we are trying to say what it is doing technically, what are the patterns, so maybe some educational stuff we're trying to cover here. But if I had to summarize, I can say we cannot take long position unless you see above orange. We cannot take. We can start, but then there is risk. So that's my take. Now, having said that, this is for BTC. There's another interesting thing I'm observing, that alts are doing something different, and not just today, for many weeks, that some of the alts are not listening to BTC. A few weeks ago, it was like FTM, Luna, and some other coin. Recently, we saw GMT. Okay, we saw Jasper, very strong. Sorry, not Jasper, Jasmy. My bad, and few other. I'm just giving few examples. We see Ape doesn't want to go down, and likewise. So we are seeing, and they are not making move for one day, they are making move for many days. So a very interesting change is happening. That reason could be anything, but early days they used to follow, means other than Bitcoin, all the coins used to follow Bitcoin strictly in terms of direction, even like intraday movement. These days it's not the case. So it's changing. I'm calling that as a beginning of the divergence. Okay, the divergence is not a day where we can say we diverged. There is no one day where it will happen. It's a process, and in my opinion, the process has begun. The divergence process has begun, and it may take time. Who knows how much? But divergence process has begun, and which is very healthy and positive in my opinion. So when I talk about BTC, now I cannot say this is for all, and that's why on ad hoc channel I'm trying my best to update few opportunities here and there, so you get advantage. So but if there is any major downside move from BTC, of course they are following, but minor movement is not affecting alts. In fact, the moment the BTC stabilizes, alts are moving up so fast that whatever loss they made, they are covering that loss in a very short time. So this is also reality, this is also new behavior. So yes, alts go down when the BTC go down, but what is happening is they recover so fast that you feel that, oh, what happened. So their algos or bots are like amazing. They are really holding the pricing. You Some example I gave, look at their price action. They're not giving up their position, they're not giving up their levels. So amazing. Even some of the coins in active coins list. So this is something new, definitely new. Anyway, we have to focus on Bitcoin for reason, because they are not totally decoupled, but there's a major change happening. So I would say if BTC makes a major move, then only alts would be in trouble or under pressure. Otherwise, they are more stronger, and definitely. So the BTC, yesterday BTC was falling more than many alts. So that's something strange, and you don't see that often. I mean, when I say alts, means I'm not talking about thousands of alts, but some of the alts, you know that they were not even budging, and I was amazed. Of course, they were not going up, but they were more resilient than Bitcoin. Even I was looking at some 3x coin on KuCoin. You won't believe that 3x BTC short was down by 7-8%, and other 3x. So I have a list 3x which I track to see their behavior, and I sorted yesterday. The right now the percentage is not there, but what happened is it was like BTC had the highest drop on BTC down coin had the highest drop, and I was so amazed. So that's interesting. Another interesting thing happened yesterday was all the asset classes gone down. All oil, natural gas, gold, silver, you name it, precious metals, grains, even bond yields were flat. Like they went up a little bit, but not like big move. More like flat and little bit in positive territory, but not much. And of course, crypto went down, stock market went down. This is not so common, I'm not saying, but I haven't seen this. I don't remember in my that one particular day when all the asset classes, as if they want to secure money, as if they want to go on cash, as if that's that kind of behavior. Otherwise money move from one asset class to another. So you will see they'll try to arbitrage. They will put, these are very quick. These bots are very quick in doing this. They'll transfer money from here and there, right? They'll try to look for arbitrage opportunity, and that's why we see a lot of quick movement. And but yesterday was a unique day, special day, and they all of them went down. I was just watching, and literally everything was red. So interesting thing, very interesting day. That way, it doesn't happen so often, and in my memory I don't remember everything down. Okay, so that's yeah, that's something new. Anyways, come back. So this is the required level. Let's quickly go on weekly, and we'll look at our Bitstamp format. Okay, Bitstamp format. So I'm going to keep the green arrow on weekly as it is. Okay, as it is. Because it went up from here on, so it is possible that it goes up from here, because this level is not where we can say it is going to crash. Okay, there's difference between ready to go up, and there is difference between crash. This is no trade zone, and sometimes it's okay. So it's not that you must have a direction, definite direction in place. Okay, you can say. So weekly is kind of neutral, as I said. Neutral means no trade zone. You cannot say for sure that it is going up or down, and so it has to be somewhere here 46k plus for it to go up. Then we can say this is up, there's weighing more on the upside on a weekly time frame. If it is below 30 37 36, then we are saying, going to say, okay, it is going to be it is leaning more towards the downside. So that's the thing. At this moment, I would keep this arrow here. You may say maybe because this is not threatening at this moment, and typically when it is neutral, it's okay to be bullish. So when I say bullish means not TA point of view, but community is like that, because 90% people are bullish by nature. Very few people are bearish by nature. So whenever there is neutral setup, people tend to be bullish. Okay, and that's something I learned. Right. So on weekly, you can say that it's still in the mid zone, the white shaded area that you see here. This is upper side of the white shaded area. This is the lower part of. I haven't changed anything. I just connected this key levels because as I said, it has to be zone, cannot be a line, because there are so many endpoints. This is also endpoint. This is an endpoint. This is endpoints. So it's very hard. This is endpoint. These are, so you have to have a belt, this kind of a belt. You cannot have a line. But I added a belt and added a midline, average line here for guidance. Now, if you look at this one, this bounce got rejected from the midline. Very interesting. And now it's at a lower part. So here this was the rejection here. So essentially, it is still on a neutral zone, right? So if it goes below neutral zone, comes down to this one, then we can say it's leaning more to the downside, because this is 30, 37, 36. If it lands on this one, 35k, then the probability of going down will go up significantly. And as I said, this is a chart. This chart is very important. We have some support level here on the Bitcoin, on Binance chart. As I said, I think we should ignore those one, because those are not going to work out well in my opinion, because of like a narrow range movement. So these levels are more important, which are to me 24k and anything below that, right? So that these supports are more important, right? And on upside, of course, I'll draw one line, actually different line here, like this at this moment, maybe with a different color. Which color? Sometimes I'm out of colors. Make it large. Yeah. But I don't want to make this too crowdy, so let me not keep it. I want to keep this chart as clean as possible. Right, so orange line will be tracking for any major move, right, on a weekly. This is the most important zone from a weekly time frame. As I said, daily supports are different, weekly supports are different, monthly supports are different, quarterly supports are different. So that's why everybody has to decide what level what time frame you are going to operate, because it's different. Okay, it's going to be different. Like if you are on Earth, your one day is different. If you are on Mars, your one day is different, right? Number of hours are different. Your year is also different because the orbit is different. So something similar to that. Your support resistance, key support resistance different based on your time frame, like different planets. So it's not universal. The weight is different. Weight on earth is different, weight on the moon is different. So it's contextual. Right, so weekly is neutral, so nothing more to add. We have been tracking this now. To be honest, I'm bored as well. You must be bored, but I'm also bored because this thing is not changing, and I don't know what to say more about it. I have no additional information to share, because if you look at it, the price has been like this since January it was here, and this is April, mid-April, almost 4 months, 4 months, and it is here. What should I say? I mean, what to talk about other than, some highlighting few levels. This thing is not changing. So interesting thing is, the way I express is, this is a bear market but moving horizontally. That's the only way I can describe this. So we had a all-time high in the April, month of April last year, for 12 months, or you can say this is actually February, March, so more or less the same level, right? 60k, around 60k. Since then it's kind of it's moving sideways. 12 to 14 months moving sideways instead of going down. So I would say this is strength in a one way, because if I compare with previous cycle, I would say the same thing happened. Only difference is it was trending down. So we it feels like we are in bear market in a real sense, because there's tremendous loss of value. Okay, until here. So in my opinion, we are kind of here. You're kind of here if I compare these two, because this in this case this was all-time high. It didn't make new all-time high or move sideways. It continue making lower highs, and almost the same low, and consolidating in a kind of informed descending triangle. Of course, a bearish pattern, but it was here. So instead of that, what difference here is, this is almost identical. In only difference is, it is moving sideways instead of going down, which is a significant thing, and it shows that the positive aspect of this is showing the strength, that it's not losing value. So this is not going down like this, right? So that's why I believe that Bitcoin is showing enormous strength, which I would really appreciate that way, that it's not giving up. Even I see stock market goes down and all. Sometimes it somehow managed to find support and bounces. It's not losing its key level. And another thing you notice, the positive aspect of this was the low. This is a higher low, and this is a higher low. It is making higher lows, and it is making higher high. So high, right? And this is higher high, and this is higher high. So it is moving on upside actually, but in such a boring way. It gives us that, um, you know kind of insecurity, right? So of course we have to be watchful on certain levels that I highlighted. But one way is, this consolidation is much better than this consolidation, because in this consolidation this low was terrible. This low was lower than this one, and this low was also lower than this one. So it was really terrible, and then it went up and recovered. So this consolidation is much better than what we have seen in past. Only thing I didn't like, if you ask me, is after having this amazing 2 week of upside move like this one. I compare this one, this point, I remove the dots, this point with this, and this one with this, and then this move is with this, and of course the pattern, the dimension is different. But when it dipped like this one, I said, okay, this is like this one and goes up. So that's why I'm still believing that this is possible. The dimension is different, so patterns do not just it's not a photocopy of this, but you ta sense it that way. So this move could actually, but what I'm disappointed is this week, this is really beaten up badly. When it was here, it is like this, it was like here comparing. So I was thinking that then the next week it could make another move like this one, and then eventually escape like this one. But it didn't happen, it was shot down. But um but it stopped here. So that's why still it's not done or it's not dead. So this is how I'm seeing and talking to myself, that it went down like this, but it went up. This is shot down. A week is ending, so I don't think it is going to make a big move unless something major happens by Sunday evening. We might say some consolidation nearby this, but if it can really break above like here, like this one, even if it comes closer, that will be a big positive move in my point of view. So definitely this pattern is something related to this one without any doubt, right? This drop, consolidation, rise, drop, consolidation, rise is similar. Only thing is this is now kind of deviating, and it's just a pattern point of view. This is kind of fractal, not visually identical, but nature wise similar. That's how I would express. So that's why, what else? So this is something I would add more compared to last year, a little more. Otherwise, there's nothing much to talk about on BTC. So let's look at monthly quickly. Let's say what it is doing on monthly. See, the monthly definitely, this is a kind of a reset button, right? uh, but again we saw, this is to be noted that it hasn't made new low. So what is this low? This low is 37169. So if it breaks below 37k, that means it makes new low. From candle point of view, that's not good. That means the higher low pattern is broken in that case, right? So if it closes here, that is still, I mean, it would close in red, but still not bad, because I would say this is higher low, so it's not bad. And then comes next month, which is not so far, a week. So week, 1 week to go, April 30th. Yeah, so next call will be on last day of the month. Perfect timing. Week ends, weekend and month end, more or less the same. And in that case we'll have more clarity, and on monthly we'll know that. So if it can hold this level for next 1 week, that also I would say positive. Right now of course it's not good. Monthly is not good, but monthly is, the pattern wise monthly is not good, but how month end I think matters. I would like to see about this body, which is like this 43, same level, I think 43,500. I would like it to break above the opening of this month, which is 4322221. So yeah, 435,500 will be good level, which is in line with 1 day time frame. That will be a safer level. So right now, monthly is you know putting more pressure on the downside. Monthly is leaning more on the downside. Weekly is neutral, daily is neutral. That's where we stand. Okay. What else? Right. So this makes sense. It's the same chart. So I think this is enough. You got the idea of BTC, so you know the critical level. So we can end this session here and have a quick look at alts. I think there's nothing much to update on alts, to be honest. Unless you want to know, maybe I'll skip it because alts are not ready. None of the active coins are ready. That's why, interestingly, we can make. I don't want to skip it though, but I'll browse through. There's nothing much to add, so I won't talk much about it. I'll just point out for recording point of view, right? I'll just point out it's here. See below yellow, right? Big trend line we have added last time, big one. So this is broken without any doubt. March 2020. This is broken. Atom. It happened with ETC long ago. ETH, sorry, ETH. Atom. It happened. AVAX on edge. Okay, I can remove this. On edge. BNB. BNB is one of the strongest. I've been saying this. Oh, a lot of hodlers it seems for BNB. It seems really. Look at this. It's not budge. It's not moving much. I mean, pretty strong. See, CRO landed on the yellow, right? Doge tried to break above the red, but not successful yet. DOT is holding up, nothing much, trying to break above S2. EGLD is on the line, yellow line, on edge that way. It's a parallel channel. ETH is still here, far from the yellow compared to other. So still in a good position. What is this? Flux. Flux is still flat. I mean, it's moving sideways. There's nothing much. There's nothing much. This is support zone. But remember, this could create a descending triangle if it consolidate here, because then the whole entire structure could collapse like this. This is bad. If this is creating a base, you see, this is a base of a triangle, and this orange line is the upper line. And if it can consolidate here over here, then it could collapse like this, because these descending triangles are bad when they complete fully. If they are not complete like this is not complete, so I would not say descending triangle yet. It has to be here. It has to be complete 80% at least, in my opinion, experience. Then this is, many people say this is a descending triangle, but it's so you can say it is making one. It is making one, okay, but you cannot say it is complete yet. It is not complete yet. So it could come down here, come up here. 78 80% is my requirement. This is like approximately. So if it continues to move like that and comes down to this, then the probability of breakdown is very high. Each pattern has a success rate, different success rate. No pattern is 100%. Okay, this you have, so you'll find online that different patterns have different success rates. As descending triangles are definitely bearish one, and most of the time they break down. But one thing, they don't, public information doesn't tell you anything, which I discovered from my experience, that you will see the descending triangles are bearish, but they don't talk about how much it should be filled. So in this case, approximately, I cannot measure exact 80%, but visually if it can fill up this much, and it could, then the probability of breakdown is very high. Can we measure? This is 50%. Also the 70-80% is this, maybe. Yeah. So this is month end approximately. So if it comes down to this, then goes down. Something like this. We can give this one. So for education point, this is just educational stuff. For trading, it doesn't matter. Trading, it has to be somewhere here. And we don't care what, if here or there. This is not good, so it's very clear. This is no good. So there should not be any ambiguity. But this pattern stuff is just educational. The picture says everything. It's here, right? This is yellow, broken long back, tried to break above, failed, came back, supported again. From where? Here, same. So you can say this is a retest, go up, could go up, yeah, could go up. But if it breaks below, maybe I should start this arrow below this and give this room like this with a low, this low, low, low. But yeah, I mean, this is weak. This is weak. It has to be somewhere here. If you look at this one also, same story. This, you can say this is retest. So not done deal, but not ready yet. It has to be somewhere here to start with. HNT made new low. See, I've been talking about HNT was very strong, but HNT became very weak these days, and highlighted that in our weekly call. So that's how sometimes we have to adapt to the situation that okay, things change. Things change. This was one of the strongest one. Now this is weakening significantly. Right. So you see the required levels are super important when you think from a longer term point of view. It is going down, made new low. So the point that I mentioned during the BTC analysis, that some coins you see divergence. So divergence in both ways. Some coins are weaker, much weaker than Bitcoin, but which was the case even in early days as well. They usually weak and they go down faster. But divergence point was more about they show some coins are stronger than Bitcoin. So this is a typical behavior. They go down. KCS is strong, one of the strongest one of the strongest, like BNB, KCS. They are not going down. They're not going down. If I hide all the drawings, you see it's sitting here. It's sitting here. It's just waiting for the good environment. The environment right now is not so friendly. But in this environment also, it's not giving up. I mean, this coin is showing strength. What else can we say? And when the right environment, when the right environment builds up, this is going to shine. So no doubt about it. Look at this amazing coin. KDA is weakening, right? It broke S2, so it's heading towards this one, showing weakness. Link is also one of the weakest coins these days. It lost its glory. Fundamentally, no matter how good it is, right? Fundamentals, unfortunately, are not directly associated with price action. Unfortunately, and there is a reason, because these fundamentals are not um, based on real adoption, real use, real world use, unlike stocks. That's why these fundamentals more on progress, not achievements in terms of usage. That's why they're not. They will in future. In my understanding, like these are coins, not stocks. but I think they what they will be measure is how much transaction they are doing in the real world. Like, what is the dollar amount of transaction? The market cap is useless. That measure is useless, in my opinion. Market cap can go up and down. Like if a coin pumps 100%, which we saw, the market cap doubles. So it's useless. No coin has fundamental change which would double the price. So when you see any coin moving up 30%, it doesn't make sense because fundamental cannot change that fast. So this price action is nothing to do with fundamentals. And same thing with the drop. It cannot drop 100%. Um, you cannot have fundamental change like that. So this price action has nothing to do with fundamentals, those fundamentals that typically tracked by people. The fundamentals I am talking about will be, I think, measured, I hope I'm right, on how much transaction a coin is doing in the real world, not on exchange, real world. So if you are Chainlink, ordinary people or companies, how much they are using on daily basis, how much, for example, Bitcoin is really being used in real world payment at this moment, today, in present. That is the real measure. Are you using Bitcoin for your payment? Answer is yes or no. So that is the real measure, in my opinion. That's real fundamental, because if it is not in use, it is not be valued in long term. Not BTC is not an exception. BTC is the first coin and the supporters for reasons. And I'm not against BTC. I'm against the direction and adoption rate. I'm worried about that because they are not making progress as they are supposed to. They had great advantage, great community, great support, great, but now they are going for store of value, which is rubbish. They should focus on payment. Anyway, that's my personal view. So Chainlink, as I said, it is strong fundamentally, use case wise, but price action is telling me that this is one of the weakest coin. And look at this price action compared to many. This is like, this didn't go up high as well, and this bull run actually is and pretty weak. I think this is on the red line and likely to break and follow the dotted line as it is following. Looks like on edge, on edge. Another tip I'll give you: if you're shorting, short the weakest one. Okay, sometime timing, if the timing is good, then the strongest one with a very high altitude you can take it. But what I experienced that um better to go with the weakest one. So I'm highlighting the weak coins. So for an example, in this case, you will not try to short BNB KCS because you're not going to get much. Even BTC is okay, but go after weak ones, then, because they're easy. Okay, that way means they are not going to go up. Even BTC bounces a little bit. So just a tip, not advice, but hope it will help you. So I would choose the weak ones like Chainlink or HNT in present time, or whatever I said few. So Luna is going down today. Ah, this is very crowdy. So Luna is crazy coin. Luna, personally speaking, I don't know why it is valued too much. It's just a stable coin. But so this is a counter example. There are many coins which are fundamentally good and a good use case, but they are not having a price. Like Chainlink, for example, this coin has not much fundamental, but there's a stable coin, but it's not nothing out of the blue. There's so many stable coins, and you will be amazed that there will be many stable coins in coming days. Each and every fund will try to issue stable coin for a reason. They would try to liquid add more liquidity. So you will see more and more stable coins coming in future. So because stable coins then can be used for lending purpose, that's why, and then those APR stuff and all that going on. So that's why, but this is not a coin, a use case which I'm not someone who should comment on it, but it's more of comparative analysis. If I say Chainlink, to me Chainlink has greater value as far as its role in the ecosystem, and also the the you know usage and the team and progress and whatever importance compared to Luna. If Luna disappears, it's not going to impact media, but Chainlink is required, is essential for an example. So I'm not promoting Chainlink here or demoting Luna. What I'm trying to compare is the price action. I'm just giving example that why price action is not always tied up with so-called fundamentals. So Luna is just a stable coin, maybe few other utility DeFi thing, but there are so many other. But price, look at the price action, amazing price action compared to something. Another poor coin that I consider is a file coin, or beaten up badly. It's not in an active list, but look at that, it's being used, practically used by for NFTs and so on. But look at the price action, beaten up badly. So it doesn't make sense. So that's why the fundamental, sometimes the price action. So RTA is amazing, RTA is good, RTA route is best, because if it doesn't care, it always help us taking good trades. So that way. Okay, MANA, you can see that there is a potential descending triangle here. Okay, you can no, I take my words back. It's more like a channel here, because this made a new low, so this is not descending. So yeah, it's going down. You can say the trend is down. MANA is going down, right? So it has to be somewhere here, somewhere here. There are too many lines. Should I remove? Okay, keep it for now. It's still above yellow, but it should be somewhere here. So if short one require, so look at this one, Matic. So it's kind of shaping up. This was added last week, right? So I said this is a, it can retest this level and could take this path, provided this support is maintained. Maybe I should bring down this to align this one, just to make sure this is low is matched. So it is possible that it makes a, I mean it takes upside, no, it makes a U-turn like this one, and then like this possible. But yeah, this low to be washed out, this low to be washed out. Again, it is going to face resistance here, remember, because this was the point of rejection. So this is going to be the test 1.93 or something around S1, depends what, how much time it takes if it goes up. Anyways, so this $2 plus is a better level for longer term. This is not a perfect level. Same story here. I think there's no difference if you look at this one. Let me hide all the drawing. You see, down, up, down, down, up, down. Their flavors are very similar. Coins are different, flavors are similar. Not only that, let me highlight something which is very interesting. A fractal in a different way, the BTC style. Okay, be with me. You will see a photocopy. This point, okay, this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, and then this low, this high, this high. Oh yeah, in between this hump, and this one. This particular wave is identical to this one, almost a copy, almost a copy. Anyway, so Like here you saw a u-turn, right? You might see a u-turn here, provided with a condition. Of course it has to be conditional, provided this low is not taken out, then reversal is possible, otherwise new low. Then the patterns are always conditional. Remember, patterns are always conditional. This is bad. RNDR is bad, really weakening. It's going down. Oh, this low is at risk. This low is at risk. But anyway, not broken yet, but at risk for sure. Looking very weak. SND. This is descending triangle. This is descending triangle. I have already added it. Interesting. And it is 80% filled. So probability of this to go down is high. Probability of this to go down is high statistically. SKL is holding up this much, not bad, but a lot of weakness. This is SOL. We called out at 143, right? Since then it's trying to, so it's, you see, rejected by S2, rejected by S2, rejected by S2. So it's trying to climb up. Not bad compared to other. This is much better. This is much better. Yeah, if S3 is broken below, then it will continue going down. I think because of that news, OpenSea news, this went up in my opinion. Otherwise, probably it would not have gone too far. But because of news, it went up. The pattern is still bad. The bearish, if you look at higher time frame and without drawing, this can go really bad. And this one is kind of a digression, divergence, and it always happens in between. But this looks very ugly. This is like a huge head. This is a left hand shoulder, and this could go down all the way here and create a right shoulder. This is my concern, but provided with a condition, if this is broken, which is around 75 76 level, if this is broken, then I think it could go for 30 33, or this it could go up to 20 as well, because then it will come to this zone somewhere here, 20 to 30 range, if this is broken. So we got to be very careful with this one. Same time, there's opportunity. If it breaks above 125k, then it reverses. Even 114 is fine. 114 can provide opportunity. What is our required level? I raised it because this is where it rejected. But even if it breaks above S2, I think that can be a good beginning. It could be a good beginning, but not yet, not now. So this pattern is actually deadly. If you look at high time frame, this support is so critical. It's low. VRA was very strong, but these days it's not. It's again below yellow, below yellow. So this is weakening. XRP also landed on the support. So it tried to break above again, right, and reach to SR, but landed here. Nothing much on this coin, to be honest. So I'll remove it. But if I remove, then so many other coins are will have to remove. So I'm just keeping them anyway. So at this moment, I think we are going to see some intraday movement or intraday opportunities. I'll try my best to update on ad hoc. You if you can take it, but there's no long-term trend, long-term trend I see for any coin, unfortunately, because they're not at a level where they are needed. So that's the bottom line. Everything that you see is short term. Maybe personally speaking, what I'm doing is I would wake up in the morning, see what is good, I would take it maybe for a few hours or maybe longer, close my position by the time I go to the bed. I don't want to put stop loss. I would just set alert during my day and take action. That's it. I would not bother about long term these days because there's no clarity at this moment. So this is my personal stuff. I mean, personal mode of operation at this moment. Everything is one day. Hardly, exceptionally, I would keep a stop loss this because I don't want to get stopped out overnight. This is crazy. So if during the day, if I get few percentage, I'm happy. Actually, that's not a bad idea. You know, even if you get some percentage every day, you should be happy. So anyone who is not able to spend time, probably this is not the time for them, to be honest. It's not that you buy and hold and forget about it. No, there is greater risk in doing so, especially if you're long. So that's one thing. If you want to trade, you have to spend some time. If you are not able to spend some time, then probably this is not the market condition for you, right? So that's the reality. Okay, I'll end the recording here and open for any question.